Hello and welcome to News Express, your global television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edikan Michael. A reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. President Bola Tinubu has officially launched the 2024 Men Christian Pilgrimage to Israel and Jordan. This was made known in a statement by the Deputy Director and Head of Media and Public Relations, Celestine Toroka, and published on the Commission's official X handle. According to the statement, Tinubu, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, urged pilgrims to view their journey as an opportunity to strengthen their faith in God. Meanwhile, the federal government and National Assembly have been urged to prioritize transparency and accountability in allocating projects in the 2025 budget. The Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center made the call in a statement signed by the Executive Director, Anwar Rafsanjani. The organization specifically cautioned against budget padding and inclusion of questionable allocations, such as funds designated for scrapped ministries like the Ministry of Niger Delta and the Ministry of Sport. Rafsanjani also condemned the current practice of certain legislators exploiting the budget process to allocate resources for constituency projects lacking a legal framework for monitoring accountability. Now, the Commercial Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, has pledged to restore public trust in the cause. Mohammed made a pledge in Akure on the state while acknowledging that motorists no longer stop for FRC personnel due to perceived lack of integrity. He emphasized the importance of upholding the legacy of selfless service, integrity, loyalty, and service delivery bequeathed by the founding fathers of the Corps, adding that the Corps had a noble mandate to protect, reduce, and minimize the road safety crisis, as well as create a safe and secure motoring environment for the public. Mohammed also sought collaboration with traditional institutions to reduce the road crashes nationwide, as he stated that the influence and authority wielded by the traditional leaders could be instrumental in shaping the authorities, their attitudes, and behaviors of community members towards road safety. And our Minister of Police Affairs, Senator Ibrahim Gadam, has listed the ministry's accomplishment for the first 3 quarters of 2024, which are reflected in the establishment of the National Criminal Data Fusion Center for the Niger Police Force, strengthening of the West African Police Information System, and automation of police specialized services to enhance Nigeria's security. He said this during the recent visit of Special Advisor to the President and Policy Coordination and Head Central Result Delivery Coordination Unit, Adizabola Osman, who represented the Ministry Performance Scorecard in delivering on assigned mandate in the last 3 quarters of 2024. And now the federal government has successfully repatriated 403 Nigerians migrants stranded in the Niger Republic. It's coming from the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, who made this known, stating that the returnees, including 165 males, 56 females, and 182 children and infants, arrived on Saturday. Their return was facilitated through the coordination of multi-agency efforts involving the Nigerian Mission in Niamey and the International Organization for Migration. This operation marks the second batch of voluntary returns from the Niger Republic within the week following the repatriation of 310 individuals on December 17, 2024. In total, 713 Nigerians have been returned to the country in the past week. Some suspected hoodlums allegedly attacked the palace of Esu Lokoja, His Royal Majesty Mando Akamisoka, in Lokoja, burning his vehicle and properties within the premises, while the monarch narrowly escaped by scaling the fence. According to report, Nupe natives of Lokoja Development Union were planning to host the second edition of Nupe Natives end of the year event before the incident occurred. Dauda Shelika appealed to government and security agencies to investigate the cause of the attack and bring the perpetrators and their sponsors to justice. And now the federal government has officially announced Wednesday 25th and Thursday 26th December 2024 as well as Wednesday 1st of January 2025 as public holidays to celebrate Christmas, Boxing Day, and New Year, respectively. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, confirmed these in a statement in Abuja by the ministry's permanent secretary, Magdalena Jani. The minister also extended warm greetings to all Nigerians and urged them to reflect on the values of love, peace, and unity that the season signifies as they celebrate within the loved ones. He stressed that the essence of the Unitary season is to foster harmony and strengthen the bonds across families and communities. And in the meantime, the following deaths recorded during the palliative distribution in Abuja, Ibadan, and Anambra last week, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Netawe Yewalta, has listed rules and regulations event organizers must adhere to before engaging in the distribution of palliative in the country. Yewalta said it is important that the organizers register such events, involve security operatives like the police, and carried out the risk assessment and vulnerability checks, among others, to avoid future stampedes and that. They have expressed sympathy with the families of the victims, but stressing, however, that the presence of security operatives at distribution points will go a long way to help maintain peace and other one's vulnerability checks and risk assessment are observed. Former presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, has condemned the ban imposed by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, on distributing palliatives to the poor following recent stampedes across the country. In the wake of the tragic incident where 67 people, including 35 children, died in stampedes during the fun fair and food distribution event in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, Okija in Anambra State, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The IGP told a statement by the police spokesperson, Olumuyiwa Adeojobi, warned event organizers to involve security agencies or face legal consequences. Obi, in a statement on X, said the restriction will discourage the philanthropies from helping vulnerable citizens, describing it as unnecessary bureaucracy for the IGP to require approval before assisting the needy. He called the development disturbing, noting that while the directive is timely response, it is prone to abuse. Now, the National Identity Management Agency Commission has advised Nigerians to be aware of individuals of entities demanding money from them for the National Identification Number registration. This comes as many Nigerians have described the extortion at the various NIMC centers nationwide for their NIN registration. Amid these reports, the NIMC, in a statement signed by the head of corporate communications, Dr. Kayode Adegoke, insists that NIN registration comes at no cost. Adegoke noted that the amounts charged for NIN enrollment at the NIN centers are unauthorized. The chairman of the Nigeria-Belgium Friendship Parliamentary Group, Ahmed Adamu Saba, has announced a renewed commitment to strengthening ties between Nigeria and Belgium through a series of forward-thinking initiatives. These was contained in a statement signed by the technical advisor to the chairman, Lugard Okonabo, stating that the initiatives are part of a strategic effort to enhance cooperation in trade, education, agriculture, and cultural exchange. The statement outlined the group's work plan and the initiative for 2025, which emphasizes the fostering mutual understanding and practical collaboration. And some of these plans include the Nigeria-Belgium Luxembourg Business Forum, slated for the second quarter of 2025, as well as the Nigeria-Belgium Academic Exchange Program, the Nigeria Arts and Cultural Festival, scheduled for August 2025. And now you're watching the News Express here on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital. When News Express returns, stockbrokers propose roadmap for Nigeria's $1 trillion economy. We'll bring details of these as well as foreign and sports stories after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us and on to business news. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has urged Nigerians to avoid panic buying as there is enough fuel in the country. IPMAN Publicity Secretary Okadike Chinedu said this in Abuja while commending the Dangote Petroleum Refinery for reducing the price of its premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, to 899.50 naira per litre. He said that the gesture would help reduce transport costs for Nigerians ahead of the Yuletide holidays. Chinedu, however, urged all Hypeman members to adjust their pump to the new pump price to attract more customers. The retail price of premium motor spirit has dropped to 965 per litre in the Federal Capital Territory. According to some report, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited effected the new price across its retail outlet in the capital city to the delight of customers. Another new development, an amount is a second price drop in the less than 2 weeks from the 1,016 naira earlier this month. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers has called on the federal government to intensify its fight against oil theft. NUPENG President Prince Williams Apara, speaking at the last quarter meeting of the petroleum tanker drivers in Edo State, expressed concerns over an apparent slowdown in the efforts to curb pipeline vandalism and oil theft. The union criticized the government's exclusion of oil workers from the compressed natural gas program, stressing that it is disheartening that the federal government is reducing the tempo against the pipeline vandals and oil theft at a time when the fight should be intensified. Now, more on business. Nigerian stockbrokers have proposed strategies by which the federal government can deepen the capital market to achieve its proposed $1 trillion economy. They made the proposal in a communique signed by the President and Chairman of the Council of Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Oloripo Dapa, and the Registrar and Chief Executive of the CIS, Dr. Joshua Arowusi, from the 28th Annual Conference held in Ibadan. They say that if adhered to, the proposed strategies will help to achieve its goal without increasing borrowing. And away from that, to the foreign scene, Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico has made a surprise visit to Moscow for talks with Vladimir Putin, becoming only the third Western leader to meet the Russian leader since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine 3 years ago. And Fico, a vocal critic of the European Union's support for Kiev in the war, said that it cuts the supplies of Russian gas to the country, which as country relies on. A deal with the Russian gas transit energy through the Ukraine to the Slovakia is due to expire at the end of this year. Asian markets rose after big gains on Wall Street on Monday, while traders were coming below the forecast U.S. inflation data that tempered worries that the Federal Reserve will take a more hawkish tone with interest rates next year. All the 10-week got off to a healthy start after last week's sell-off. It is backed by the U.S. Central Bank's outlook that suggested officials will not lower the borrowing costs as much as previously hoped over the next 12 months. Now, whole three-man index in New York ended more than 1% higher. United States President Joe Biden has commuted the sentences of 37 out of 40 federal death row inmates, switching their penalty to life in prison without parole. The three excluded from the measure include the Boston Marathon bomber and the man who killed Jewish worshippers in the 2018. Now, in a statement, Biden said he was more convinced than ever that we must stop the use of the death penalty at a federal level, although his measure does not include more than 2,000 people convicted to death by the state authorities. Biden's decision comes before the return of President-elect Donald Trump in January, who resumed federal executions when he was in office. And now to sports. National Sport Commission has resolved to put in place aggressive grassroots talent hunt and nurture talents that will win laurels for the country at the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics without being poached by the opportunistic Western world. The NCS chairman Shehu Obdiko made this disclosure while hosting a 14-year-old serial-winning gymnast and Stephen Ugochukwu and her mother in his office, noting that the era of losing Nigeria's best sporting talents to other countries is over, as the commission has moved to tie the young gymnast down. And now this has been labeled Nigeria's Simone Biles joined the marked global acclaim. She trains at the Leeds Gymnastics and is a member of the UK Gymnastics Club. Africa Cup of Nations hosts Morocco. Title holders, the Ivory Coast and the Super Eagles of Nigeria, are likely to be among the top seeds when the draw for the 2025 tournament is made in Rabat on January 27. Our Confederation of Africa Football officials speaking on the condition of anonymity say that the latest world ranking will almost certainly determine the seeds. CAF have used the FIFA rankings to send the nations for AFCON and the World Cup draws, and are likely to use the December 2024 listing as the next rankings will only be published on April 3rd. The 2024 participants will be divided into 6 4-team groups with runners and runners-up from each, plus the best 4 third-place sidelines and qualified for the knockout phase. Crystal Palace have triggered the option in Jean-Philippe Mateta's contract to extend his stay at the club until 2027. Now, the Frenchman will have entered the last 18 months of his deal and the turn of the year with his current contract expiring in June 2026, but secures and sources with knowledge of the deal said the Palace have used the option to keep him tied to the Selborne spec for another 2.5 years. And the club are yet to officially confirm the news, but Mateta has the Eagles have been in talks about a new contract in recent months amid his goal-scoring form. Saka was famed leaving the Swords back on crutches, scoring what has been a comprehensive second win over the Eagles in the 4 days. Arteta said after the match that Saka felt something in his hamstring and could not continue. He further revealed that the Raheem Sterling had injured his knee and will be out of the many weeks. Mohamed Salah has surged to the top of the Premier League Golden Boot chart thanks to a double for the Liverpool in a 6-3 rout of Tottenham Hotspur at the weekend. The Egyptian captain struck twice in the second half for the leaders to raise the goal tally for the season to 15. And now 2 more the outline of the Manchester City. As wrapping up the News Express is a look and recap of the top stories. The federal government has successfully repatriated 403 Nigerian migrants stranded in the Niger Republic. And the business of Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited stations have dropped the petrol price to 995 naira in a book. On the first scene, U.S. President Joe Biden has committed the sentences of 37 out of 40 federal debt payments. That's all we have here on Global News Express, coming to you live from the nation's capital. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nicomsat. You can watch the rest of the news on our online platform at Global TV NG. On behalf of the entire production team, we thank you for joining us on News Express. My name is Adika Michael. See you again.